This is Poppy. Poppy is 12 weeks old, which is at the, oh my God, why do I want a puppy stage? And the top end of where you can easily use some of these techniques because you want to use them on the young guys. What I like to do when I'm teaching them restraint, I like to have a collar on. She's got a harness, and I think the harness will work. And I like to hook my fingers through underneath her chin, a couple fingers through there, thumb and pointer finger on either side of her face. And if she wants to wiggle around and wiggle around, that's fine. I've got control of her head. She can't fall off the table. She can't do anything else. She can't bite me if she's inclined to do that, which luckily she hasn't been so far, although her mother claims that she's very bad. So 5 minutes a night is all that it takes to start teaching puppy restraint. We put them up on the washer or the dryer, picnic table, top of their crate, wherever you have that works for you. Slide your fingers through like that. I know it's a terrible hard thing. And then what I want to do is get them used to having their mouth looked at, so I'm going to lift their lips. Good girl. You don't have to zoom in on what we're actually getting with her lips. And when they wiggle, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep a hand on top of the head, finger through there, let them wiggle and have their little temper tantrum. Good girl. I don't praise and talk to them when they're wiggling because or I don't tell them it's okay, it's all right, because it sounds like praise. I keep my mouth shut and I wait to praise till she's holding still. Yes, and being good. That little yawn is a little stress yawn. That's okay. Little stress is a good thing to learn to deal with. We just don't want to overly stress you. Good girl. Excellent, baby. Good girl. Oh, what a good dog. Yes. All right, then we're going to look at her ears. And I'm not going to put the otoscope in again because we already did that. But I'm just going to flip her ear back, look at it, put a little finger in, get her used to that. And this is all stuff that can be done at home very easily. Good girl. Excellent dog. I'm going to stand her up. I know it's a terrible thing. Excellent baby. Good girl. Good baby. I'm going to hand all back here. And then what we typically would do would be trim nails, and she doesn't need her nails trimmed today, so we're just going to handle feet. What I like to do is I like to pick up the foot and hold it just hard enough that she can't get away, but no harder, no firmer than that. And she can wiggle and flip around and have a temper tantrum if she likes. I'm going to hold on to this foot until she's still, which she's being very good. Excellent. The only thing I'll correct for is biting. And I'm just going to look at all her toes. If she needed a nail trim, I do. Here we get through all her toes. At home, I might just do 1 or 2 toes a night. Good girl. Excellent. Now I want her holding good and still before I let go. Oh, and no biting. Ah. Good girl. Good girl. Now you get that foot back. We wait for that few seconds of quiet. And she's being very good. We did this last time, so she's kind of an old hand at this. Good girl. Good girl. It is not unusual to get some wiggling and some screeching on the first foot. I'm okay with that. Good girl, because puppies are dramatic creatures. They like to make things dramatic, and we tend to respond to their drama by giving them what they want, and that's exactly what we don't want to do. We don't want to teach them that a temper tantrum gets them what they want. Good girl. Can I see the other foot? One more. Last foot. Good girl. What a good baby. You're being so good. By the time we get to the last foot, they're usually most cooperative. They've figured out that temper tantrums get them nowhere. Good. Now, here's what I think will probably cause the biggest temper tantrum in you. Watch the nose. No biting of the nose. No. No. She says, well, why not? It's sticking right there in my face. Good girl. That's better. Good girl. We're going to teach her to be a dead dog, which is an excellent thing to have to teach to tolerate restraint, and also it's good for a dog who's going to need a lot of grooming. It's a great position. I'm just going to slide her down my body. The name of the game here is you control the leg closest to the table. Good girl. Good girl. And ideally, we want the wrist over the neck. There we go. Okay, and she's going to wiggle just a bit. Good girl. Good girl. Excellent baby. Good girl. I'm just going to let her lay there for just a minute. Okay, that's it. Good baby. That's how I teach my dogs to be a dead dog. I don't want this to be a big confrontation. I don't want to flip them over and do the alpha roll. I just want to slide them down, let them wiggle just a bit, and when they relax, I rub the belly, and then they get relaxed up. My dog can lay on his side for 45 minutes and get groomed if we need that. It's a very handy thing. If you have a dog that will tolerate that amount of restraint, we're not going to have any trouble doing anything we need to do to this dog medically. You're not going to go home with her and call me 2 days later and say, I can't get medicine in her ears, she won't let me. This is all the things we're worrying about. And actually, I'm much more likely to get that call from this type of dog than a 100-pound Rottweiler. So, because the Rottweiler's owners take it more seriously when they're younger, for the most part. But, and these little guys can be very possessive about their bodies. So all we want to do is we want to teach them that restraint is okay. It may not be their favorite thing in the world, but nothing bad's going to happen to them, at least most of the time. We want to build up that confidence that nothing bad's going to happen to them. And we want them to learn that temper tantrums do not get the desired result, which is that we stop. So we never stop with a temper tantrum. Now, with a little bit older puppy, you're going to get, and this little girl actually had the bare minimum of resistance for me today. I'd usually expect a little bit more resistance. She's a very good puppy. She's done this once before. This is her second visit. So you can see visit number 2. This is Old Hat, and she gives me very, very little resistance. Visit number 1, where we start this, you get a little bit more. If we were starting this for the first time at her age, and particularly if she was a little bigger dog, we'd probably get a little bit more. But once you get beyond about 12, 14 weeks, you have to sort of weigh the dog's temperament. And plus what we've got time in the context of doing here, but we're talking about you doing this at home. When you get to that age, you're going to get a little more resistance, and then I might be tempted to go the route I have on my blog under, if you look in the index under nail trims, there's a video, not done by me, but a very good video done on teaching your dog how to have its feet handled for a nail trim with its clicker. And that's all positive, where you'd pick up the foot, good dog, release, give a cookie. Pick up the foot, good dog, release, give a cookie. You never want to go to the point where you get the wiggling and the resistance. That's great, and it's good for the older dogs. The disadvantage to that, in my mind, is that you never get the dog learning to tolerate something it doesn't like, because we never push it to the point of something it doesn't like. And I think that can be a valuable lesson to learn. I'm a mostly positive trainer, but I do think that sometimes in life you have to learn, ow! You have to learn that sometimes you have to tolerate the things you don't like, and it's not the worst thing in the world. And that's what this is aimed at doing. So that's all we got today from Miss Poppy. What a good girl. Okay, that's it. You can cut off. Poppy! Yay, Poppy! Poppy! You gonna give kisses?
She kept looking over at the camera like she was posing.
Well, of course she is.